In this video, we will see how to use a debugger in CodeBlocks. Debugger is used for tracing the program's execution line by line. We can trace the program to see its working in detail by checking the execution of each line. It's also called as tracing the program. If there is any error or the program is not giving expected results, we can check the execution of the program line by line and we can catch that error. Even for understanding the working of a program, we can take the help of debugger. I have used a debugger in few programs in my course. So here we will see how to use a debugger. For that, I will create a new project and I will write down the program. So create a new project and say console application. Then this should be C++, right? The next here, I will call it as my debug. Yes, it's ready. Now here already I have one program, so I will paste the program here directly. Here is my program. So the program is to find the sum of all the elements in an array. These are the elements in an array. The program will add all these elements and store the result in sum by taking one element at a time in variable x. So this type of programs we will see later, but here the purpose is to show you debugging. So let us first of all compile the program. So go to build and say build and run. So it will compile and build the program and run. So I'm getting the result as 25. That is sum of all these elements in an array. That is 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 9 is 25. Now the program is already compiled. Now I want to run the debugger. So before running the debugger, I should put a breakpoint on any one of the statement. So I'll put a breakpoint. It's better to put a breakpoint on the beginning statement so we can see that execution of all these statements one by one. So go on this line 8 and right click and say add breakpoint. So here you have to say add breakpoint and then again right click on this line to delete it, remove the breakpoint. So you can remove breakpoint like this. So I'll add it once again, say add breakpoint. Now breakpoint is ready. I have to call debugger. So go to debug option and say start. Right, so the option is F8 here. Again, if you want to execute line by line, you can use F7. So let us start. Debugger is started. Now, if you want to see the contents of the variables, what the values are there in the variables, you have to add a watch. So for getting a watch window, this is the method. Go to debug menu and inside that select debugging windows menu and click on watches. Yeah, here I got watches and this is already having variables like sum and a. So here inside the program you can see sum is there and a is there. So this a, if I open, then you can see it is having the values 1, 2 and 5, 8, 9. So which are already given here, but it is not showing x. So if it is not showing any variable, you can select that variable, right click and say watch x. So it's not available in current context. And even if it is not showing other variables like sum or a, you can select it. Now before I continue, let us see what this program is doing. This program is going to add all these elements and find the sum of all these elements in variable x. So x will be taking the values that are present in array A one by one, like 1, 2, 5, 8 and 9. Then it will be go on adding them to sum. So here inside the watch you have to observe how the values of this sum and this x are changing. Right, now let us proceed. So I'll execute the next statement. I'll press F7. Now that a is already there and x is still not defined. Now you can see that x is having value 1 here in red. Then sum is still 0 and it is on this 14th line where it has not yet added this one. Once this line ends, the value of x will be added to sum. So if I press F7, you can see the value of sum will be changing. Yes, sum became 1. Then again if I continue, x became 2. So you have to watch in the side. X became 2. Now next line, this sum becomes 3. So 1 plus 2, that is 3. Then sum becomes 5 and sum becomes 8. X became 5 and then sum became 8. Now x is 8 and sum becomes 16. X is 9, then sum becomes 25. Now it will come out of the loop. So here you can see that the line, this current line is shown by this arrow here. Now it is pointing on this one. If I press F7, then the value will be printed, and here is a window. You can click on this and see the value 25 is printed. So that's it. This is how you can use a debugger for executing the program line by line and see how it is executing, how it is modifying or updating the variables. You can take the help of debugger for detailed understanding of execution of program, and also if there are any errors, you can trace it and remove the errors. So that's all in this video.